going on, everybody? This is Joe, and I am here for a very special holiday gift edition opening. It is the holiday season, as many people are very aware, because, you know, the holiday season can be hectic for some, it can be stressful, but I figured I would bring, or try to bring, a little bit of levity, a little bit of joy, if you will, to all of us in opening a Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms gift edition. Although if you read this, it says Dungeons & Dragons Gift Edition Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, which is a little confusing, but it is specifically a bundle. And the reason that a bundle would be called a gift edition bundle as opposed to a regular bundle is not just because of the time of year that it is released, but there is also a collector booster inside, which is not typically something that we open on this channel. I could, if people really wanted me to. You can let me know in the comments down below if that is something that you would watch, etc. But otherwise, it's not typically something that I go out of my way to seek out. This box is really sick. I love the top there. That looks awesome. And the fact that the Dungeons & Dragons portion is shiny. Very fancy and special, and it seems that way. So we're going to lift the top here to show all of you the contents of this bundle. First things first, we have the extra large D20 with the Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms set symbol as the 20. Let's see how we do. An 18, not bad, especially with hit and interference in the back there. But yeah, so we will leave that for all of you to see. There are the land packs. So we have the D&D AFR lands that have the flavor text as if a dungeon master was reading it to you. So that's kind of cool. I'm not going to open that, but we'll leave that on the side. They have these like little insert cards for how to play the game, attacking, blocking, what to do on your turn, how to cast spells, and popular magic formats. So again, also on the side. And then there is the alternate art foil, or promo foil, I guess, treasure chest. The foiling is actually pretty cool on the chest itself. I like that. I like how the metal portions are shiny like that. That looks pretty good. So again, not going to open that. And then I believe these are the foil lands in this pack as well. So again, those can just go back in the kit or the bundle. I'm so used to opening pre-release kits, if you cannot tell from back here. So this is the collector booster. We're going to do that last, if that was a question. And we have all the regular packs as well. I usually do that a lot better than I just did. I made a big mess. But yeah, we will do the collector booster at the end, and we'll open our regular packs. So let's see what we get out of this bundle. We have our Top Deck the Halls back here as good luck. So hopefully it helps us out. That was back from when Wizards was still sending us stuff, because we were part of the creator program that kind of dissolved, but kind of didn't. It just kind of went by a different name, and then they just stopped talking to the smaller creators, it seems, which is a little unfortunate, but I'm not too bitter about it. I'm here in the holiday spirit, so let's not even get into it. But first, we have this Elterguard Ranger, Faraday's Fireball, Secret Door, Half-Elf Monk, Grim Bounty, nice one, Ranger's Longbow, You Find the Villain's Lair, Plundering Barbarian, Spiked Pit Trap, a Bullet in the alternate art, the old school D&D book art variety. We have a Cridle of Baldur's Gate as our first uncommon, also in the alternate, the showcase art. We have a Wild Shape as our second uncommon, and a Chaos Channeler. This is a pretty good one as the third, which means our rare or mythic in this pack is a Lair of the Hydra. These lands in particular have been doing pretty well in standard these days, so that's a fun thing to have. These cards are like a little slippery in these particular packs. These are the like kind of the looser packs, and the slipperier cards, it's just a different way of them packaging it, I guess. Behind Lair of the Hydra is a Swamp and an Angel token. I like this Angel a lot. It looks really sick. On to the next pack. D&D definitely has angels, so even though Magic is known for having angels on multiple different planes as well, the fact that we did some D&D stuff does not mean that we would not be seeing angels as well. So here we have a Compelled Duel, a Jaded Sellsword, this one's fun in the treasure deck, Another secret door, a potion of healing, classic for D&D, Thieves Tools. Although I would like to point out that it's very interesting to me that the potion of healing is a common, because for those of us that play D&D and know how expensive potions are, it doesn't feel like they're common. Here is a Thieves Tools, a Circle of the Moon Druid, Veteran Dungeoneer for the Dungeon deck, or venturing into the Dungeon deck, a Neverwinter Dryad, you find a Cursed Idol, Genie Windseer in the alternate art, very nice. I love the ones with the blue, like the blue ones, because the blue background on these looks great. The blue art and stuff is really, really good. We have a Lightfoot Rogue as our first uncommon with roll a d20 and you get different effects. So again, before we had rolled an 18, we would have gotten it to get +1/+0 and Death Touch until end of turn. A Ray of Frost. I love this card. It's a card that is akin to one of the D&D spells, one of the many spells available in the regular player's handbook. And a Magic Missile. Speaking of spells available in the player's handbook. There you go. And so our next rare or mythic is an Instrument of the Bards, 2 green rares in a row. I don't love this card, at least for limited. I haven't seen a ton of like standard decks using this to much effect, or eternal formats either. But hey, if you know of a deck that does, or you have a list that works for you, let me know in the comments down below. I'd appreciate hearing from you. We have a Forest and a Wolf. Yeah, the end of that pack was very green, and then with the layer of the Hydra from before, we're just opening a lot of green, it seems. Okay. We have our next pack. They're all regular draft boosters, and they all have Drizzed Duwarden on the front, so no variations there. We have Dragon's Fire. Love this art, and it's a great card. Clever Conjurer. I liked this card a lot more than most in Limited. I think I used it to relatively okay effect. We have a Dwarf Hold Champion, a Deadly Dispute, Compelled Duel again. You hear something on Watch. I do enjoy these. I know we had one before, but I do enjoy these, like, kind of the cards that are like describing something to you because it's like you're playing a D&D game. Very, very intriguing and interesting. A Plundering Barbarian, Improvised Weaponry, Evolving Wilds, Critical Hit is our first uncommon, Ray of Enfeeblement is the second, and Cloister Gargoyle is the third. Not a bad one at all, especially for the Dungeon deck. And so our next rare or mythic is a Mythic in Inferno of the Star Mounts. Not bad at all. A Mythic Legendary Dragon. I'm okay with that. I don't know about all of you. That's pretty sick. We also have something else back here. It is a Foil Evolving Wilds alt art. It's actually kind of hard to tell if you're not like, if you don't know like where it came from in the pack, that it is foil, but it is alt art. It is, supposed to look like one of the adventure modules or dungeon modules, as it says on the top, and it's in foil, which is awesome. This pack was great. A mythic and a foil, one of these alternate arts. I like this quite a bit. The foiling pattern is pretty cool. But like I said, it's kind of hard to see because like all of this purple kind of dominates what you're looking at. And then the art itself in foil is different. So we have a swamp behind that and then another angel token. There are a good number of packs in this bundle, of course, because that's how it works. And then it's a gift edition, so we get the collector booster as well. If you got to open any of these gift editions, or in general, actually, you know what? I want to know what people think of gift editions. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you not care? Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to know. We have a Jaded Sellsword again, a Shortcut Seeker with, as you can see, a Dawnbringer Cleric, Fate's Reversal, Scaled Herbalist, Silver Raven, You're Ambushed on the Road, a Celestial Unicorn. You can see it back there. We have an alternate art, Clattering Skeletons. The black background on this looks pretty sick also. That's an alt art Clattering Skeletons. I don't think I have one of these yet, personally, so that's pretty cool. We have an Iron Golem as our first uncommon, Prosperous Innkeeper, nice one, as the second, and a Battlecry Goblin, also a nice one, as the third, which means our next rare or mythic is a Loyal Warhound. I know Amy likes this card quite a bit because that dog is really cute. I think it's just fine, to be honest. But sure, we have a Loyal Warhound, followed by, yeah, I was like, there's something back here. It is a foil rare in a gelatinous cube. Also a very classic Dungeons & Dragons monster. Very awesome looking in foil. That's so sick. The cube looks nuts, and then the background actually looks pretty cool too. Very, very nice. Foil rare gelatinous cube. I dig it. That is great. Then a mountain behind that. Whoops. And then, ooh, we have the Vecna token. Some cool stuff so far in this kit. I'm not going to lie. Or this, I say kit again. This bundle. But yeah, the Vecna token. Very nice. Okay. We move on to our next pack. We are about, well, at the end of this one, we'll be about halfway through. Not bad at all. Then we start with a Valor Singer. Clever Conjurer again. +2 mace, classic way to refer to D&D weaponry. And then the fact that it gives +2/+2 in magic terms is very cool. Very smart. I like it. Eyes of the Beholder. Very cool pun in the name. Very good removal spell. A little expensive, of course. And very flavorful for D&D. Spoils of the Hunt. Brazen Dwarf. Hoarding Ogre. Steadfast Paladin. You see a guard approach. Spare Dagger. A Moon-Blessed Cleric is our first uncommon. Was that the first pack that we didn't have an alt art right before our uncommons? I think it was. But this Moon-Blessed Cleric is pretty good. A Guild Thief. And an Eccentric Apprentice. Which means our next rare or mythic is a Volo Guide to Monsters. I love this card. First of all, the ability on the card is incredible. Second of all, the reason... So Volo is a character from Dungeons & Dragons lore, but there's a book for D&D that you can have called Volo's Guide to Monsters, and this is Volo Guide to Monsters. I just love it. I'm all about stuff like that. So very, very nicely done. We have a Plains behind that. Gorgeous looking planes. And a 6 spider token that you get, I believe, from the Spider Queen, Lolth, who is a planeswalker in this set. Which they were very quick to say, hey, by the way, everybody, not an actual planeswalker in canon, just, you know, for fun for this set. So don't expect to see her on, like, Dominaria later. We have Contact Other Plane, Delver's Torch, Precipitous Drop, Bull's Strength, Armory Veteran, Scion of Stygia, Yuan-Ti Fangblade, Plundering Barbarian, Spiked Pit Trap, classic, a Bullet, which means we're probably going to go to our uncommons, because as I said, that seems to be the theme. We sure are. It's a Drider. Oh, and this also makes the spiders, I guess. A Choose Your Weapon, classic, and a Purple Worm, also in the alt art. Very, very nice. And then our next rare or mythic is an Eye of Vecna. Very nice. So we have Vecna as the token, and now we have the Eye of Vecna as well. The only thing we're missing then is the Hand of Vecna. Behind it, we have a Swamp and a Tomb of Annihilation. So in the pre-release kits, actually talking about kits when I mean to this time, in the pre-release kits, you got these dungeons, one of each of them, I should say, in each kit, and they were all foil and they were fancy, and then you would get them randomly in packs. So this is the first random one that we're getting in a pack that works with the dungeon mechanic. So we move on to our next pack. Hey everybody, while you're here, please don't forget, if you like our stuff, please don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. You will get notifications whenever any of our videos come out, including more of these videos to come in the future. And stay tuned in a little bit. I'll be telling you why there's some other products up here that aren't Magic the Gathering based, and what that means for the coming weeks on this channel. So definitely stay tuned for that. We have a Gloomstalker, a Zombie Ogre, Elderguard Ranger, Faraday's Fireball, Secret Door, Half-Elf Monk, You Find the Villain's Lair, Steadfast Paladin, Genie Windseer, Feign Death, a Hamapashar Ruin Seeker. So notably, this one is an uncommon, so we didn't get one before the uncommons, but we got one in there instead. Very cool card for Hamapashar. I like it. We have a Power of Persuasion and a Red Dragon. So we got the Inferno of the Starmounts mythic version of this earlier, but now we have just a generic Red Dragon, which again, not to be trifled with, regardless, but still. And then our rare or mythic is a Mind Flayer, another classic D&D villain or enemy to come across. Nasty buggers, these Mind Flayers. So very, very cool that we got a Mind Flayer. I like that quite a bit. Good card as well. Behind that, a Plains. Gorgeous colors on this Plains, my god. And a Lost Mine of Phandelver. So we had the Tomb of Annihilation. Now we have the Lost Mine of Phandelver. We're only missing one more, technically. But, I mean, of course, like I said, we have plenty. But move on to our next pack. If it was unclear, I hope that you all have, because we're putting this out just prior to the Christmas holiday. So for those of you that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. In general, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year from us. Stay tuned to this channel. We have lots more videos coming out. This is not the last video before the holidays by any means, but still. We have a Grim Bounty, a Ranger's Longbow, Unexpected Windfall, Mordenkainen's Polymorph, Devoted Paladin, cool cards, Sepulchre Ghoul, Veteran Dungeoneer, Underdark Basilisk, nasty one, Manticore, very nice, Baleful Beholder, a little expensive, but a sweet card nonetheless. I've done some pretty cool things with that card. We have a Barbarian class as our first uncommon and our first class card that we've opened so far. Very interesting the way they did this like saga-esque thing with these classes, and it's like sagas plus level up, and you know, makes this, and I think it's done pretty well. And again, if you look at Standard, I think Standard thinks it's doing pretty well as well. Not necessarily this one in particular, but in general, the cards do quite well. A Burning Hands, another classic D&D spell. Cool art for this one as well. And a Warlock class. Two classes in the same pack. I like it. Very, very nice. And so our rare or mythic is a True Polymorph. Another spell people may not know, but it is a very high-level D&D spell where you just turn something into another thing forever. So here is True Polymorph. Very, very interesting. This one's a little expensive. It is at instant speed, but I don't know that I love this, at least for limited. But, you know, still glad to own it in general as a card. Behind True Polymorph is a Swamp and a Tomb of Annihilation. Check out what was hidden inside of that box. You know, a lot of times with bundles, there are like inserts and stuff, but they'd kind of done away with that. Look at this weird back too. They'd kind of done away with that. And so when I mentioned about the dungeon and said that, you know, they, in the pre-release kits, they give you like these dungeons and their promo foil and etc. But that they didn't do that here. You just had to get it out of the packs. I was very wrong, at least pseudo, like, right? This isn't foil. It's not promo, but it is very large. I mean, obviously, again, here's the size of a regular Magic card. Whoops, as it falls. And here is the size of the dungeon. So just to give you a general idea of the difference. But here is the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, the Lost Mine of Phandelver, and the Tomb of Annihilation. And yes, in case you were curious, they all have, I keep dropping stuff at the camera, they all have the magic back, as opposed to most, if not all, of the other dungeons, the smaller ones, that have the tokens on the back. The Lost Mine of Phandelver and the Dungeon of the Mad Mage having the opposing dungeon's token on it. So here for the Lost Mine, you can make a 1/1 red goblin. So then on the back of this Dungeon of the Mad Mage would be a goblin. And then in this Dungeon of the Mad Mage, you can make 2 1/1 black skeletons. So on the back of the Lost Mine of Phandelver would be the skeleton, so that you can make the tokens out of those. And then on the back of the Tomb of Annihilation, since the last room, when you've entered it, lets you make Atropol, the legendary 4/4 black god horror with Death Touch, the back of this would have Atropol on it, which I think is really clever. I thought it was really cool at the time as well. And so that is what you would typically get on the back of these, but I guess because it's so big, they just have the regular magic back. And I say regular, it's still slightly different because it's not blue text and there's no Deckmaster in there. So still different slightly. But anyway, on to the rest of the video. So as I was saying about these products up here, this is the card game Varia up here. And over the next couple of weeks, Varia has released new decks from their Kickstarter campaign that we were a part of, and we were happy to be a part of, and that they were able to get fully funded, so congratulations to them, they being Guildhouse Games. And so over the next few weeks, stay tuned on Mondays, where Amy and I will be reviewing all of those new decks, all the cards, all the art, etc. So definitely, definitely stay tuned for that. We have a Herald of Hadar, Spoils of the Hunt, Dueling Rapier, Bar the Gate, Half-Elf Monk, Hired Hexblade, You Hear Something on Watch, Mimic, Devour Intellect, Clattering Skeletons, 50 Feet of Rope is our first uncommon, Reaper's Talisman is the second. Such interesting art for that. I like it. And Bag of Holding, classic D&D item, is the third, which means our next rare or mythic is a Westgate Regent in the alt art. I am so intrigued by this card, especially the fact that it's a vampire in a set that came out just before, or, you know, 2 sets before, or whatever. We got the vampire set in Innistrad Crimson Vow, and this card is nuts. So very cool to have it in alt art. I appreciate that a lot. Behind it, we have a mountain and a Tomb of Annihilation again. Lots of tombs here. Also, for those of you who are watching this video, as a little prize for doing so, I guess, we'll give you the heads up that don't forget, or I guess not that you would know, but after I tell you, don't forget that if you watch these Varia videos that are coming out in the coming weeks, we might have a code for you that could give you some discounts if you want to pre-order those decks that we're going to be reviewing for yourself. So definitely check that out. We are super psyched and looking forward to it. And shout outs and thank you to Guildhouse Games for that. We have a Bull Strength, Boots of Speed, Shocking Grasp, Planar Ally. Love the art on this card. My God, those colors are fantastic. Eyes of the Beholder, Inspiring Bard, Hoarding Ogre, Improvised Weaponry, Spiked Pit Trap, Leather Armor, You Happen on a Glade is our first uncommon. Shesra, Death's Whisper, in the alt art is the second. We're getting a lot of awesome alt arts in this one as well. Really, really cool. And a Tiger Tribe Hunter is the third, which means our final regular rare or mythic, because we still have the collector booster, is a Froghemoth. Very nice. This card is fun as hell, so I appreciate that we have it. That's funny. We have something else back here? No, we do not. Okay, good. We have a Swamp and an Angel token again. 3 Angel tokens in all these packs. Very nice. But, as I said, we're not done. Here is a collector booster from Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. We're definitely going to open this up and see what gifts we got out of this gift edition. I've enjoyed this opening so far, a large amount, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we might get in here. So if you're not aware of collector boosters, everything's going to be shiny, everything's going to be alt art, everything's going to be fancy and fun and all that good stuff. So we start with a foil Potion of Healing, which is not bad in foil. I will say, like, the camera's picking it up fine, but this art is very dark in this particular foiling. Like, the card itself that we opened earlier was quite bright, but this is really dark looking, and so not great. I mean, obviously, the contents of the bottle itself looks great, right? You can see that, but I don't know. I don't love this foiling, I'll be honest. We have Potion of Healing. We have Manticore. Again, quite dark. Like, that background looks fine, but, like, look at it. It's just dark, and, like, the subject of the art is not in foil, as I always say. That makes it not as good. Weird. Okay. Yeah, I don't love this one either, but there's a Manticore. You find a Cursed Idol. Is it just all the arts are going to be dark, I guess? This barely looks foil. Like, the text box obviously looks great, but that's not what I want a foil art or card for. I want to see what the art looks like in foil. Yeah, it's like just this side is like anything to talk about, and then everything else is kind of whatever. Interesting. We have a Jaded Sellsword in foil. The window behind him looks nice. That one little tiny portion of the art. These are disappointing as hell. We have a Green Dragon. That's pretty cool. And in foil, the background looks good, I suppose. But it's a very small portion of the card, so that's very upsetting. Let me know, I don't know that I typically ask this, but let me know what your thoughts are. To me, these foils seem very disappointing. Am I being, a Grinch or a Scrooge, or do you agree? Let me know in the comments down below. We have a Dungeon Crawler. Like, okay. Again, right here, it looks great. I like that, but that's about it. We have a foil planes. This was the awesome art that I saw earlier, and this does not disappoint. Look at that. The majority of this picture in beautiful foil, emphasizing those gorgeous colors. That is what I like to see. That's the kind of thing that I'm here for. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of like, okay, this is great. All those other ones were very dark and I didn't love it as much. But again, I would love people's opinions in the comments below. And our foil rare, or one of our foil rares, I guess, is a Ranger class. Again, this is one of the ones that is doing work in Standard right now. So that's nice to be able to have one of those in foil. But otherwise, like, you know, obviously these cross swords and the paw print, if you will, looks great. But like, what else? Interesting. Ooh, we have a borderless Wild Endeavor from the Commander set. There's a bullet kind of popping out of the ground here. I don't know that I've seen this card yet, so that's pretty interesting. Roll 2d4. Okay, interesting. And it's 6 mana. Behind that, we have a borderless Mythic in Acererak the Archlich. This is a fun card. I like this one quite a bit. This is the one that cares about the Tomb of Annihilation, right? You can delve into or venture into the Tomb of Annihilation whenever you want with any card that says venture into the dungeon, but Acererak is the one that rewards you for it because the Tomb of Annihilation is a little punishing for everyone involved, but usually it could be just you. But regardless, Acererak, pretty nice. We have an Alt Art Knoll Hunter, a borderless Alt Art Blue Dragon. Love that. Love that art so much. We have an Alt Art Ochre Jelly. Very fun. Ochre Jelly. An Alt Art Foil Bullet. I feel like, can that be seen a little bit better if I move this lighting around? Interesting. Yeah, there we go. So there's a bullet for all of you as well. I like that. That one looks kind of cool. We have, ooh, a foil rare alt art Dragon Turtle. Very nice. I said I liked the blue ones, and now we're getting one in foil. Very cool. And our token is a treasure token on one side. Gorgeous looking. Ooh, and a fairy dragon on the other. Absolutely beautiful. Well, ironically enough, for this holiday gift edition opening, which we are doing like a week or two prior to Christmas, so again, to all who celebrate Merry Christmas, I still think I'm going to show you like the pack foil that we opened in one of our regular packs in the bundle, which is this gelatinous cube. But yeah, I'm going to show this to you, and I'm going to thank you all so very much for watching. I really hope everybody enjoyed. I hope you have an amazing holiday season, and definitely stay tuned for more from the channel. So thank you for subscribing and ringing that bell. And for now, from us here at the Geek for All family of channels, I have been Joe, and as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.